Hello guys, welcome to Online Web Tutor presented by Proof Solutions team. I am Sanjay. We are learning WordPress Plugin Development tutorial from scratch, and this is our part 34 of this video session series, in which we will discuss about that how can we add our extra table to extend our plugin, in which we will add author table, student table as well as enroll details table, as well as we will make our submenu sections to our plugin, and we will fix a CSS issue. Okay, so guys, if you are beginner to this channel, then please don't forget to subscribe and keep watching our previous video sessions to make the clear vision about WordPress plugin development tutorial from scratch. In the last video session guys, we had seen about the demonstration of our extended plugin feature. Okay, so in this video session actually we will make three different tables for that. Okay, first author table, student table and enroll table. So for now we have the plugin as my book, okay, which basically contains two submenus, as you can see, like book list, which basically contains the list of all books which we will add from this form. Okay, now in the last video sessions we had seen all the features of our my book with the extended features. For that we will add three different tables in this database. Okay, so right now we have only a single table called WP my books. Okay, so what are the different tables actually we will make for that? So these are the tables guys that we need to add, like author table, student table and enroll table, which basically contains the field. Author table contains ID, name, Facebook link means FB link, about section and created ad. Okay, so student table contains ID, name, email, user login ID and created ad. Okay, and enroll table basically contains that ID, student ID, book ID and created ad. Okay, so what will be the role of all these columns we will discuss when we actually make the form for that. Okay, so when we save any details of any author to this table, then we need like name, FB link, about, these three different forms that we will make to author details. Okay, to save any author details from a form we need three different fields. So for saving a student detail we need three different fields like name, email and user login ID. So what is user login ID? So when we will create any student, then guys actually we need to make a separate user for that. We need to provide a login details to that user. Okay, that's why we actually specify user login ID for that. And in case of enroll table we need to make that which student actually has enrolled which book. Okay, so basically we need to make these three different tables to our database. So let's get started about these tables. So go to database and let's say about author table first. Okay, so WP my authors. Okay, so basically contains this table 1 2 3 4 5 columns. Okay, so let's say 5, go, let's say ID, next is name, FB link, about, created ad. Okay, so basically guys actually we will make all these tables in the dynamic way. Okay, so right now we want the database table script, that's why we are making manually. Okay, so this column should be timestamp, default is current timestamp, and its length should be something 255. Okay, and all these columns actually contain null values, and the first key should be our primary key. Okay, primary index. So just I'm clicking on save. So this is the table guys that we have created, WP my authors. So let's say that we want the script of this table. Okay, so create table, and finally the table name is WP my authors. Okay, so guys this is actually command which basically uses to get the script of database column or database table. Okay, so when I run this command Just I am pressing Control Enter. After running this command guys, then I will actually get the script of database table. Okay, just I'm clicking on options, full text, and go. Okay, and here is the script. Just I'm copying all this text and now I am pasting it here. Okay, so this is WP my authors table script. Okay, so let's say about student table. So just go to its database and let's say WP students or my students. Okay, and actually it contains the columns like 1 2 3 4 5. It also contains 5 columns for that. Just say 5 and let's say ID, name, email, user login ID, and finally created at. Okay, and it should be something called timestamp. Default should be timestamp. User login ID is integer. It's a varchar. Length is 255, and it should also be varchar. Okay, and now finally it will make a primary key. And just say all these values actually contains null values. Okay, and let's say save. So successfully we have created another table called WP my students. Okay, so just I am going to its command. Let's say so create table and the table name called WP my students. Okay, control enter, click on options, full text, and go. And this is the script. Just I am copying of that, control C, and pasting it here. Okay, so this is the second table script, and now finally the third table should be enrol table. So just go to database and let's say WP my enrol. Okay, and it contains basically 4 columns for that. Let's say 4 only, and in this table it contains ID, student ID, and it should be book ID, means which actually student has enrolled himself for which book. Okay, and finally created at. So let's say about it should be timestamp. Default is current timestamp and integer. Okay, it should be primary key, and finally I am clicking on save. So this is the third table guys actually we have created to our my book plugin section. Okay, so let's say called so create table and this is WP my enrol. Okay, so just click on options, full text, and go. Okay, so this is the script of our third table. Okay, and this should be the final table that actually we will make in this plugin. Okay, so right now we have 3 different scripts. Okay, so all these 3 scripts guys that we have generated by the help of these 3 structure. Okay, so let's drop all the tables from our database first. Okay, WP my authors, enroll, and students. Select all these tables with selected. Let's say drop. Yes. Okay, so successfully we have dropped all the 3 tables actually we have made. Okay, but here is our script and we want to create these tables dynamically. Okay, so let's open our first plugin section. So this is the plugin guys that so far we have made in this video session. Okay, and here is the file, main plugin file actually, which basically contains all the plugin sections code. Okay, so we are going to add some of our database script into this function called my book generates table script. Okay, and also guys, if you are beginner then please watch our previous video sessions to make the clear vision about WP My Books plugin. Okay, in the last video sessions actually we had made this plugin from scratch. So first you need to watch those videos first. Okay, so in this function guys, actually we are going to add our database script. So let's say the second script called SQL2. Okay, and it contains the SQL which basically we have made called WP My Authors. Just copy of this script, go here and paste it. Okay, so successfully we have pasted all the scripts. Okay, so actually just we need to replace some of the links, like, and the links are that we need to make it dynamic. Okay, so just leave now for that. So just copy of dbDelta, and this is SQL2. Okay, so now for third table called WP My Students. Okay, so just go and let's say that is SQL3. Okay, and in this SQL3 variable just copy WP My Students script and paste within that. Okay, so let's make some formatting to this. So just copying of that, and this is the script that we have made. Okay, so finally actually we need to make it also, and here are the formatting. Okay, so these are the columns that WP My Authors and WP My Students. Actually we need to make it dynamic. Okay, and now the final table should be called WP enrol. Okay, just copy the script, and first let's say dbDelta, it should be SQL3. Okay, SQL, and it should be 3, and finally our SQL4 equal to for the enrol table, and this should be. Okay, so finally we have made actually our 4 different tables into this plugin, and we have hooked up all these scripts when the plugin activates. Okay, means while activating plugin actually these 4 tables should be created. Okay, so let's make all these tables actually for dynamic. So just get rid of that, and let's say a function we will make called WP, or it should be, what should be the prefix that we have used? My book table. Okay, so it should be my authors table. Okay, and finally the WP My Student actually contains, it should be WP or My Students table. Okay, so finally we have made table for that, and let's say enrol table. Okay, so it should be My enrol table. Okay, so finally we need to make all these tables with that function. Okay, so let's say function equal to My authors table. Okay, and let's say global WPTV, and let's say prefix equal to its My authors. Okay, and the table name should be, if I will check that, My authors. Okay, so just copy My authors, and here it is My authors. Okay, so it should give like something WP My authors. Okay, so just copy this function and repeat 2 times. Okay, so it should be My students table. Okay, My students table, this function actually we have used here. Okay, so it contains the table definition for My students. Okay, My students, if I will check then WP My students. Okay, and it will return something called WP My students, and finally it should be My enrol table. Okay, if I will check to the definition section, then My enrol table. Okay, so My enrol table, and it should contains the link for WP My enrol table. Okay, So WP my enroll table. Okay, so it actually gives the link for WP enroll table. Okay, so all the three different tables guys that we have made successfully by the help of these three scripts. Okay, and also we need to hook up all these into drop-in section because we want to delete all these tables when the plugin deactivates. Okay, so just copy this script, paste 3 times. Okay, so let's say my book table, instead of that let's say my authors table. Okay, my authors table, my students table, and finally my enroll table. Okay, so let's check the function name. My enroll table, students table, as well as authors table. Okay, so successfully we have hooked all these three functions with our deactivation hook also. So just I am going to administrator panel. Let's say in the plugin section, first we need to deactivate this plugin. Okay, so just click on deactivate, and successfully we have deactivated our plugin. And let's check the database. The WP my books table also does not exist. Okay, so just I am going to click on activate button. After clicking on activate button, it should generate 4 different tables to the database. Okay, so just I'm clicking on activate. So successfully if I refresh, then it contains the 4 tables, as you can see, my authors, books, enroll, and students. Okay, so when I click on deactivate, okay, then it should delete all these tables that we have created. Okay, so just I'm clicking on refresh. Okay, all those 4 tables has gone. So successfully guys, we have integrated the database script with our plugin action. Okay, and now the next thing that we need to add the submenu sections for our plugin. Okay, because right now we have only 2 submenu sections like book list and add new. So we want to add called add new authors, manage authors, add new student, manage student, as well as course tracker. Okay, so just go to its coding section, and if we find, then here the list that actually we have added with the plugin menu. Okay, and these are the menu sections and some menu sections. So we need to add some of the columns, some of the rows to add to menu sections to this list. Okay, so just I'm clicking on that. So behind the scene actually I have made a snippet of code. So let's say make a comment called my extended submenus. Okay, submenus, and let's say in section. Okay, so in this comment section actually I need to add the definition of all 4 submenus or 5 submenus. Okay, so let's say, okay, so this should be like add new author. In the same means process actually I have added all these 5 sections actually what we have made so far. Okay, so book list is the our menu slug, means parent slug. Here is the menu name, add new author, manage options. Okay, if I scroll, then this is the page slug, add author, and finally the callback function. Okay, so in the same process actually what we have made so far, I have added all these 5 options. Okay, like add new author, manage author, add new student, manage student, and the course tracker. Okay, so basically we have added 5 submenus to our extended plugins feature. Okay, I will drop each and every section of code into the description section of this video link. Okay, you will get all the snippet of code from our description. Okay, so let's make the definition of these callback functions first. So just copy the name, my author add, let's say function, and this is the function. Okay, and the next, that is my author remove, just copy of that, and let's say function my author remove. Okay, what is the role of these functions guys? We will see in our upcoming videos in this video session series. Okay, right now actually we are making a structure for functioning all the points of this plugin. Okay, my student add, and the next function should be called, just I am going to its top section, And let's say the next function is wp myStudent remove, scroll back, and let's say function myStudent remove. Okay, and the final key should be course tracker. Okay, so basically I need to scroll down and let's say function course tracker. Okay, so all these three means five callback functions we have made for our menu. Okay, and actually if you have remembered, then these are also the callback functions that we have made. Okay, so just I am copying all these things, I am pasting to each of my callback function. Okay, so let's say these are actually scripts which included our PHP pages. Okay, so just I am making copy of that and pasting it in this callback functions. So let's say instead of book list, let's say course tracker. Okay, course tracker, let's say about student remove or student manage, or let me say manage a student. Okay, and here it's called like say add a student, or you may say student add. Okay, and let's say manage author, and it should be manage author. Okay, and the finally we need to make it add or author add. Okay, so finally we need to make all these 5 files to our plugin views folder. Okay, so let's say just I'm clicking on that, let's say author add, okay, .php, and finally student add .php, let's say manage author .php, manage student .php, and finally called course tracker, okay, .php. So we have made all the 5 files for our callback functions. Okay, successfully we have made all the 5 functions for that. So let's say this is author add page. Okay, this is the book add, which we had already seen about that. Book added, book list, this is course tracker. Okay, so let's say manage author. Okay, and the next, that is manage student. Okay, and successfully this is student add page. Okay, so when we go to our administrator panel, let's say just refresh this page. Once we refresh, these are the menu sections, guys, that we have added. Okay, so just I'm clicking on add new author, and this is the author page actually we have associated with that. Okay, manage author, add new student, manage student, and course tracker. All the 5 sub menus actually hooked up with the 5 callback functions, which actually we're using right now the view sections files. Okay, and we have seen that all these 5 files actually working fine for that. Okay, so now in this video session, guys, the next thing that we need to do is that we need to fix a CSS issue now. Okay, actually you need to focus, and if you focus in this video session, guys, then you find that some of the layout of WordPress has actually distorted by adding this plugin. Okay, how actually this should be distorted? So just I'm clicking on pages section. Okay, just making Control U, or let's say my book. If I will check the functions.php file, let's check. Okay, and this is the main plugin file, and where actually we had added some of the script. Let's say validation.main.js or notify_bar.js. Okay, so just copy this name, go to your admin panel, and just open Control U. Okay, source code. Let's find Control F, and here is the notify_bar.js file. Okay, means successfully we have hooked this file for this page. This is our plugin page actually, and we need to hook this file, means we need to add this file with the plugin. Fine. Okay, so when we click on another menu sections like pages, okay, so if we go to its control U to get the source code, if we find the same page, then we also get the same page here. So why actually we had included this file here? We know that this file has no longer used in this page. Okay, we are not using the notify.bar.js for this file. So why actually we had included in this file? We want to include all the scripts that actually we had added to this plugin. Okay, and we want that all these files should work in this case only. When we activate my book plugin, or when we use any of these sub menus, or actually in case when we use its front end section, then in that case actually we want to use these files. So how actually we attach? Okay, so let's say to restrict these features called a slug, okay, variable, and this should be blank. Okay, we need to read the page section. Okay, all the pages sections which actually falls in this list, means add new, add author, then in that case actually we want to include that scripts. Okay, so let's say pages includes, okay, and it contains an array of that, and all the slug contains, like first of all called book list. Just copy this slug and paste it here. Okay, called add new, copy this slug and paste it here. Okay, so step by step you need to copy all the slug that we have made with our plugin. Okay, so just paste it here. Manage authors, just copy this slug, paste it here. Add new student, just copy this slug and paste it here. Okay, and manage student, and finally we need to add the course tracker. Okay, just I am copying this slug and pasting it here. Okay, and finally we need to check that the open slug, the pages slug actually falls into this list or not. Means when we open any of this list, means when we click on pages sections, then you can see that the post type should be page. Okay, so when we click on the my books plugin section, we need to check that the slug actually contains into this list or not. If it is in list, then we need to include all these scripts. Okay, so let's say that the current page, okay, current page by getting by post page. Okay, because we are reading the pages sections, when we click on any of this section, okay, then you can see page equal to add author, and it should be the get request. Okay, so let's say get. By getting this page, we need to check this current page actually in this list or not. If it is in list, then we need to add, otherwise we need to restrict that page. Okay, so if in array current page, let me check that this current page actually contains into this list, and we are using a PHP function called in array of that. Okay, in actually basically in array function checks that a key is present in that array, means past array or not. So just I am copying this script, cut from that and paste it into this script. Okay, so successfully we have integrated all these scripts within this block. Okay, first we are checking that this current page actually we have opened in our pages includes or not. If it is in, then we need to include, otherwise we don't need to include that file. Okay, so when we refresh this page, then successfully actually we have integrated that all these scripts. So when we press Ctrl U to get the source code, so let's find notify bar.js. okay, it's notify bar.js, and here is the file. Okay, the same file actually when we find notify bar.js, so just copy this name and let's say pages section, just press Ctrl U. if I find that file in this script, then 0 by 0 indicates that no file exists with this name. So successfully we have restricted our assets file, actually linking of that assets file to a particular page. And the pages that actually we need to include all these assets files, the pages are book list, add new, and so on. So how could actually we restrict the user to attach the script file to its plugin sections? This is the way. Okay, actually by including globally to our all files to WordPress setup, actually this has distorted our WordPress setup. Okay, and actually one more thing guys, that in these video sessions we will use Bootstrap CSS instead of its minified version. Okay, so you need to download bootstrap.css file instead of the minified version actually we are currently using. Okay, so we are currently using, if you go to its assets section, CSS section, and this is the minified file. Okay, so instead of this minified file we actually download bootstrap.css file, and we will link that CSS file, means bootstrap.css, to this script. Okay, so successfully guys, in this video sessions we discussed a lots of section. For that we have created dynamic table, we have created submenus, and one of the important CSS fix we have done. Okay, so from the next video sessions we will going to make some extra features to that. So if you have any query in this video session, then please drop your comment. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching, have a great day.